Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you this fall makeup look right here. If you guys like taking selfies or photos, I think this look is great because the colors pop really nicely. And before we get started, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Nordstrom for partnering and sponsoring this video. All the products that I use in this video you guys can find at Nordstrom, so I'll leave links down below in the description box. For this look, obviously the eyeshadow is popping, but I also really wanted to emphasize the brows, my highlight, and my lips because I find that these areas frame your face and these are the areas that really stand out. So in this video, there are 5 different products that you can pick up from Nordstrom that I use on my brows, on my highlight, and also my lips. Also, if you guys are a makeup lover like myself, don't forget to check out the Nordstrom August in-store beauty event. In case you forget, I'll have all that info linked down below in the description box. I hope you all enjoy this look as much as I do, and let's just jump right in to get started. I just finished applying foundation and I realized I forgot to mention that I primed my skin with this primer right here. This is the Bare Minerals Prime Time Brightening Foundation Primer. I like to use this under my foundation just because of its name, it's brightening, and I do feel like it does make a difference in making my foundation look a little brighter. So I went in with this as my base, and then now I'm going to show you guys how I applied my foundation. First thing I'm going to start with is foundation. I'm going to take my Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation, and I have the shade Chamomile. It comes in a jar like this, so I'm just going to dip my finger in here. Then I'm just gonna stipple the product around and blend it out. I'm also going to take it pretty close to my under eye so that I don't have to use concealer today. It's just nice to be able to use your products as a 2-in-1. This foundation is very, very hydrating, so it's good for my under eyes. Because sometimes my under eye be real dry. So with this foundation, it's great because I could double it up as a concealer and it keeps my under eye area hydrated. Next up, I'm gonna take my favorite powder in the world. This is Bare Minerals Blemish Remedy Foundation, and I have it in the shade Clearly Cream 03. I'm going to tap into the areas that I feel like I need just a little more coverage. This gives me that perfect full coverage that I like without looking too cakey because I'm not wearing a ton of product. So that's my little trick. So you guys know brows are very important to me. One, because my eyebrows are looking a little cray-cray because I got my eyebrows microbladed a while back and it's really fading now. So it's looking a little haggard, don't mind that. But like I said earlier, I want this look to be focused on my brows, my highlight, and my lips because I feel like these are the points of your face that really stand out. So with my brows, I'm always very particular about how I do my eyebrows. So because I have my eyebrows microbladed, I do have this like tint underneath. So whenever I fill in my eyebrows, I do like to go in with something that is more pigmented and something that's very long lasting. I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite brow products ever. I've used this for years and it's the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade and I have it in the shade Caramel. I picked up some of the product with this angled brush and I already brushed out my eyebrows with a spoolie so that the hairs are all going the right way where they're supposed to be going. And now I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows. So when I do my eyebrows, I like to kind of start at the bottom and then map out exactly where I want my eyebrows to end. So this is about how thick I want my brows, just from the top to the bottom here. Some people like to overdraw it a little bit, but I do like the natural shape of my brows right now. So I'm just going to map out the end of where I want my brows to stop and then kind of just follow my natural shape. A really tiny bit of this goes a super long way. I literally just dipped this into the pot. I'm pretty much good for my entire brow. When I get to the front right here, I just leave it alone because I'm gonna go in with a pencil. Now I'm going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz and I have it in the shade Caramel. It just matches the dip brow. Just wanna go in with an extremely light hand. So I went ahead and finished my eyebrows. I think they look pretty good. And I also went ahead and did this eye. So here's a little preview. We're gonna do a cranberry, very fall, amber hued look. The palette I'm using today is the Urban Decay Naked Heat eyeshadow palette. And this palette is just so beautiful. I am obsessed with warm tones. So this palette is just everything I have ever dreamed of. So as always, you guys know I'm not a crazy makeup artist. I'm just someone who likes to wear makeup, and the purpose purpose of most of my makeup tutorials is to show you how I do my makeup in a very, very simplified way. I don't use a ton of tools. I use my finger a lot. So hopefully this will be helpful for any of you who are new to makeup, or maybe you're just someone who's like me and you want to keep your makeup routine really, really simple. Really quickly, we're just going to go in with a big fluffy brush like this. And the first color I'm going to use is Sauced. And as you can see, I have eyelash extensions on right now, but it really doesn't bother me when I put on eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna pretend the eyelash extensions are not there. I'm gonna go into my crease and buff it in. And then I'm gonna go in with Ounce right here. This is gonna be our highlight. And again, keeping my makeup routine really simple, I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna pop this into my brow bone. Like I said, I'm all about keeping it simple. So the brush that came in this palette, it came with it. I'm just gonna use this brush. So I'm gonna dip the pointier end into He Devil. And with a very, very light hand, I'm gonna go in to my crease with this shade. And already you can see we're building up dimension. Yes, girl. I'm using windshield wiper motions, just going back and forth to really get that color in there. The next shade that I'm taking is Scorched. Bam. Oh, if this shade does not scream fall to you, I don't know what does. So I have Scorched on my fingertips. Now I'm gonna pop it onto my lid. So I'm just gonna go behind the lash extensions and ever so lightly pat this eyeshadow in. Seriously, I find that when I'm doing my makeup, my finger is my favorite tool. Next up, I'm gonna deepen the outer corner. I'm gonna take that brush that the palette came with, and I'm gonna use the flat end. I'm gonna go into the shade En Fuego. Hope I'm saying that right. And then I'm just going to push it into my outer corners. This is going to deepen that area and give my eye even more dimension. And now to clean things up a little bit, I'm gonna go back in with that fluffy brush that I used for my crease earlier with no product on it. I'm gonna go around the edges and fluff everything out so that it looks nice and blended. And then I'm gonna take a tiny brush like this, like an eyeliner brush. I'm gonna go into He Devil. We used the shade earlier. Now that the eyeshadow is done, of course, I gotta finish it up with a wing. Yes, girl. So the eyeliner that I'm using and absolutely love is Hourglass. This is Hourglass's Voyeur. It's spelled Voyeur, but maybe it's pronounced differently. I don't know. What I like to do is just kind of lay the liner down like so to get as close to the lash line as possible. And then I just bring it around. Just really round it out around the eye. And then I'm going to, this is the scary part, create a flick and connect it. Now that the eyeshadow, the brows, and all of that is done, we're gonna move on to contouring the face. I'm gonna be taking this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. This palette is so beautiful. Can we take a look? And I'm gonna dip into the sculpt side. I'm just gonna softly blend this in. And then, of course, go into the forehead, just like along the hairline. And of course, down the jawline as well on this side. The blush I'm gonna be using is also Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade First Love. It's a nice little muted pink. Since my eyes are looking pretty warm, I don't want my cheeks to be overpowering, so this shade is perfect. I'm gonna pop it here into my cheeks. And with a highlighting brush, I'm gonna go into this beautiful highlighter. You guys know I love highlighting. I'm gonna place it right here on the tops of my cheekbone. Like, look at that glow. Oh yeah. And to highlight the tip of my nose, I'm gonna go in with this. This is the Trish McEvoy Fast Track Face Stick. This is such a pretty, like, champagne-y highlight. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop it here onto the tip of my nose. I love this formula because it's nice and creamy, and I find that using a cream highlighter just lasts a little bit longer, especially on my nose, because I rub my nose a lot throughout the day. It's just a bad habit. So using a cream just lasts a bit longer. And if you want it to really, really last, you can layer, I'm just gonna do it. You can take a bit of that highlighter, that powder highlighter, and then put it on top of your cream highlighter. And with this, it's really gonna stay all day. And next, you just wanna take a clean brush, buff everything out just so that everything looks nicely blended together and you don't have any harsh lines. For my lips, I'm gonna go in with Trish McEvoy liquid lip color in the shade Mauve. I also have these two lipsticks that I was debating on wearing with this look. So here I have their Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips in the shade Karina's Love, which is like a red. And I also have Charlotte Tilbury's Hot Lips as well. This is in the shade Hot Emily, more of a corally pink. These two are really good options, but I think I'm gonna go with a mauve lip. This formula is really creamy and easy to apply. I really love this formula because it's really, really soft. It does not even feel like you're wearing anything on the lips, so yes for this. All right, girls, so here we have it. Here's the completed look. I hope you guys like it. If you guys like warm tones or you're just looking for a fall easy makeup look, I hope you guys try this one out. And if you are wearing this makeup look, please tag me in your photos. Don't forget to take your selfies and see for yourself because these colors really do pop in photos. And lastly, just a reminder, don't forget to check out the Nordstrom August in-store beauty event. All that info will be linked down below. And again, thank you so much Nordstrom for sponsoring this video and collaborating with me. I hope you all enjoyed this look. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and follow me on Instagram if you have not already. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much. Bye.